Lying is a universal human behavior. From small white lies meant to spare someone's feelings to more serious deceptions designed to manipulate or conceal the truth, dishonesty appears in everyday interactions more often than we might like to admit. Learning how to spot a liar is not about becoming suspicious of everyone around you, but rather about developing awareness, emotional intelligence, and attention to detail. While no single sign can prove someone is lying, a combination of verbal, behavioral, and contextual clues can help you make more informed judgments. One of the first things to understand is that lying is cognitively demanding. When someone tells the truth, they simply recall and describe an event. When they lie, however, they must fabricate information, ensure consistency, monitor your reactions, and suppress the truth, all at the same time. This mental effort often leaks through in subtle ways. For example, a liar may take longer to respond to a question or may repeat the question before answering, buying time to construct a believable story. Their speech might also include more pauses, filler words, or corrections than usual. Body language is often discussed when identifying deception, but it must be interpreted carefully. Contrary to popular belief, liars do not always avoid eye contact. In fact, some may overcompensate by maintaining intense eye contact in an attempt to appear honest. Instead of focusing on a single gesture, look for clusters of behaviors. A person who suddenly becomes rigid, touches their face frequently, or shifts their posture may be experiencing discomfort. However, these signs alone do not confirm lying. They may also indicate nervousness, stress, or cultural differences. Microexpressions, brief and involuntary facial expressions, can also provide clues. These expressions occur in a fraction of a second and may reveal emotions that contradict what the person is saying. For instance, someone claiming to be happy about a situation might briefly display a flash of anger or fear. While spotting microexpressions requires practice, becoming more attentive to facial cues can enhance your ability to detect inconsistencies between words and emotions. Another important indicator lies in the content of the story itself. Truthful accounts tend to include specific details, sensory information, and a logical sequence of events. Liars, on the other hand, may keep their stories vague or overly simplistic to avoid contradictions. Alternatively, some liars go in the opposite direction, adding excessive and unnecessary details to make their story seem more convincing. Pay attention to whether the details feel natural and relevant or forced and rehearsed. Consistency is another key factor. When someone is telling the truth, their story remains relatively stable over time, even if minor details change. A liar, however, may struggle to maintain consistency, especially if questioned repeatedly or from different angles. Asking the same question later in a different way can reveal discrepancies. Additionally, liars may become defensive or irritated when pressed for clarification, as maintaining the false narrative becomes increasingly difficult. Language patterns can also offer insight. Liars often distance themselves from their statements by using fewer personal pronouns such as I or me. They might say, "The mistake was made," instead of "I made a mistake." This subtle shift can indicate an attempt to avoid ownership. Furthermore, liars may rely on absolute statements like "I never" or "I always," which can be easier to challenge and expose. Emotional mismatches are another telling sign. If someone's emotional response does not align with the situation they are describing, it may raise suspicion. For example, someone recounting a serious or upsetting event with little to no emotion might not be fully truthful. Conversely, exaggerated emotions can also be a red flag, as the person may be trying too hard to appear convincing. Context plays a crucial role in detecting deception. Understanding a person's baseline behavior, how they typically speak, move, and react, allows you to notice deviations more accurately. What might seem like suspicious behavior in one person could be completely normal in another. Therefore, it is essential to consider personality, cultural background, and situational factors before drawing conclusions. It is also important to recognize your own biases. People often rely on intuition or gut feelings when judging honesty, but these instincts can be influenced by stereotypes or personal experiences. While intuition can sometimes be helpful, it should be supported by observable evidence rather than used as the sole basis for judgment. Technology and science have attempted to create tools like polygraph tests to detect lies, but even these methods are not foolproof. Human behavior is complex and deception does not follow a single predictable pattern. This is why developing critical thinking and observation skills remains the most reliable approach. Ultimately, spotting a liar is less about catching someone in a single moment and more about noticing patterns over time. It requires patience, attention, and a balanced perspective. Rather than assuming the worst, approach situations with curiosity and a willingness to seek clarity. By understanding the psychological and behavioral aspects of lying, you can become more perceptive in your interactions. While you may never achieve perfect accuracy, improving your ability to recognize inconsistencies and subtle cues can help you navigate relationships, make better decisions, and protect yourself from manipulation. If this message speaks to you, you can support the channel by liking the video, leaving a comment, subscribing, and sharing it with others.